every day, thousands of folks who thought it would never happen to them begin a new journey, taking care of a loved one who can no longer take care of themselves. Assets and Aging can help those in need find a solution without it being a financial burden. And here to tell us more is Independent Senior Care Consultant and Planning Specialist, Bob Scrivano. Welcome, Bob. Good to see you.
I am glad to be back.
Yes, it's good to have you back because this is a very important topic and one that I think a majority of the viewership really doesn't stop to think about. It's not a part of that life planning I think a lot of us really plan for, right?
No, most people don't.
Yeah, and most people don't. And this is a part of life that's very emotional and can be very, very financially taxing as well, too.
And can take a long time. This kind of stuff can go on, taking care of somebody can go on for years and years and years and years.
So how do we plan for something like that?
The first thing to do, I think, is admit that it can happen. I have a phrase that I use all the time with people, which is what happens if the stroke fails. If the stroke succeeds, we're deceased, but nobody ever plans for what happens if the stroke fails. What happens if I wind up with a permanent disability? What happens if the little bit of dementia becomes a lot of dementia? What happens when Parkinson's becomes much more difficult to deal with, or MS, or ALS, or all of the things that at the end of our life can move us from being independent to being dependent upon someone else, either family or a facility or whatever. I think the first thing people can do is acknowledge that it's a possibility in their life or their family's life.
And we had, you kind of hinted to the fact, you may have to stay somewhere. You're going to have extra care, that's a lot of money.
It's very expensive. And what will shock people the most is that most people will say to you or me or whoever, I'm going to stay home. I'll just stay home.
Yeah, I'm just going to live in my house.
I'll live in my house. Let's assume that that's possible, but you need care at home. Home care is actually the most expensive form of care there is. Home care, 24-hour-a-day home care, can easily run $12,000 to $15,000 a month.
Wow.
Nursing homes are $8,000 to $10,000 a month. Assisted living is $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Memory care units are $5,000 to $10,000 a month. So if I do need care, it's a very expensive process. And the reality is that the one thing that most people look to pay for their health care as they get older, Medicare, doesn't pay for those things.
Oh, really?
No.
So are there government benefits that can help?
There are.
Okay.
But the tragedy is that most of those benefits revolve around nursing homes. They don't revolve around home care or the softer levels of care where most people want to stay.
Yeah.
So for many people, the shock comes when they find out that little assisted living facility on the corner that's very nice and has 3 meals a day is going to cost them $6,000 a month. And their income is $4,000 a month, and they're trying to figure out how to make, or their family's trying to figure out how to make up the difference.
Yeah, so how can assets and aging help?
First of all is getting people to understand the question, the two questions, which is who's going to take care of me as I get older and as I lose independence, and how am I going to pay for it, or who's going to pay for it? So number one is, it's the number one question I work on. Those two questions are the first two questions I work on at the workshop, which is who's going to take care of me and how am I going to pay for it? And people need to first begin to look at those two things and say, do I have answers to those? For my own life, or for my spouse's life, or my grandma's life, or my mom's life, or whoever it is, do I have answers to those two questions? Who's going to take care of fill in the blank, and how are we going to pay for it? It's a really important question that people need to address and then develop answers to.
Yeah, and that's a hard question to ask, but you have to take that step. And you had mentioned workshop.
Yes.
So you have workshops coming up.
Yes, I have one coming up on the 1st, April Fool's Day.
Okay.
I have one coming up
on... But it's no joke, though.
It's no joke.
Right?
It's no joke.
Yeah.
I have one coming up on April Fool's Day, this Saturday. The information I think is on the screen. People can call me or go to the website and sign up. It's free. And we're going to be talking about all of these issues, and plus some that we just don't have time to go into here.
Okay, and how do people sign up? Do they just go online? Or?
They can go online. They can go to my website, which is assetsandaging.com. They can call me, 916-973-0916, or if they're out of the area, they can call my 800 number, 800-999-8007. But they can do either one of those things, and they can sign up, and I'll look forward to seeing them. I'll call them to confirm their reservation. It's free, and they're welcome to come.
Wonderful. I love the fact that this is free, and this, I mean, planning like this, and the value of that is immense. So why wouldn't you go to a workshop like this where you can at least get some of that, those first steps taken towards making sure that you have some kind of plan in
Exactly.
place, right?
At least begin to address the questions that are involved.
Yeah. Bob, thank you so much.
Thank
really
you.
Appreciate it.